Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado, and this is my buddy Puccini. He keeps me company in the craft room and gets into all kinds of things he shouldn't. And I finally have my June paper pumpkin alternatives. I'm slowly catching up and getting back to sort of where I need to be normally. And so I have my alternatives today, and let's just get started. Okay, well, the paper pumpkin this time is called Pick Up the Crop June 2022, and it has in it, for those of you that get the kit, you'll already know this. There's material in here enough to make 9 cards, and the theme is Farmer's Market. And so there's all kinds of material here, and the color assortment this time around is enormous. There's just about everything in the world you could imagine there. And then there is an opportunity to get these additional little market bags to decorate up. It was an add-on with this kit. And then next time is Sending Good Thoughts. And there's message in a bottle here. I'm not sure what it's going to be. And there's an opportunity to win a free paper pumpkin kit. And all you have to do is scan the QR code here on your piece in the kit, and you're ready to go. All right, I made 5 cards, and I didn't use a lot of the material. I wasn't crazy about the idea of the bread and the bread basket and the cheese. So I used other things, and I ended up making 5 cards, and I do really like all of them this time. So let me show you a little bit about what's in this kit. There's these cute little market bags, and again, you could get additional ones. There were some vellum, and this is to act like a little bag, cellophane bag that you might get at the grocery store, and the bread and some of the flowers would fit in this, and if you like that sort of thing, that was fine. And then there's a bunch of thought bubbles, which you could even just cut off the point on these and turn them into labels. And I used one of the bags, but I cut off the top and I crinkled the material, and I'll show you what I did with it. The stamp set this time is very cute. Thinking of you, love you a whole bunch, you're the sweetest, you're the pick of the crop, there's a strawberry, some blueberries, a hello, long sprig of flowers, and I think these are meant to be like the seeds in the strawberry, so you could color a strawberry red and then put these seeds in. I used Thinking of You, You're Sweet. I used the strawberry, the blueberries, I used the hello, and I used the long sprig. And so those are the ones that I used with the cards that I made. So there's laser cuts. Let me show you the card base. This beautiful card base reminds me a little bit of the New Horizons paper that we had last time. And what I did with this one is I cut it in half and then cut it down a little bit and made 2 cards out of this piece, and then used this piece in the background. I'll show you in a minute. Then there's this one, which is got the baskets of produce here and some flowers. This one, who's got blue squiggles and then a pink gingham square here kind of in the middle. More laser cuts. This was also laser cuts, this little flower cart and these sprigs of flowers, the strawberries and a blueberry, and the bread, which I didn't use, I didn't care for it. And the envelopes are this pretty pink striped paper and this green, which is, I think it is soft succulent. So it's got soft succulent and garden green in it, and lots of colors, lots of components. Let me show you what I did with my kit. This was my card number 1, And on that base, I took the back of the card and I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4 and made it the background. And I chopped up one of the envelopes and just used this stripe across here to match that pink. And then here, like I said, I cut that card base down. So I cut it right, it's 4 1/4, so 2 1/8 is half. And so I cut 2 2 1/8 pieces, and then I cut them down 1 to 4 inches and 1 to 4 1/4, and then made my card from there using this for the background on one of them. And so this strip, I think, is 1 inch wide, and then so it would be 4 inches across. And then I matted this in white just so that it would match the card, and I put some of our brass butterflies on that one. On the inside, I used a strip of that same stripe paper and a few of those butterflies. They're very flat, so it works out pretty well. And that is my card number 1. Now, the next card I made, I took this card base and I cut this top piece off and this bottom piece off, and then put them together on the card, and then used 2 sprays of those flowers and put them together and put some dimensionals on them. And I used that little piece of vellum and I just tore it on 2 sides, and then I just crumpled it a little bit so that it had a little bit of texture. And the color that's used in these flowers is Blackberry Bliss. So I took a piece of Blackberry Bliss and covered the join for these 2 pieces of paper here. So this is 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and these look to be not quite 1 inch, I don't think. They're about a little over 3/4 of an inch on the top part, and the bottom part about 3/4 of an inch. And so I did the same thing. I used this piece as the background here, but I did put Night of Navy behind it, and then I put a strip of the Blackberry Bliss here to kind of tie the flowers in this piece in. And then I did my stamping in Blackberry Bliss, and I did Thinking of You so that I could use it for sympathy cards. I unfortunately need quite a few of them. And on the inside, I used a little bit more of the twine here. Had to dig into my stash. I used every ounce that they gave me, and then I needed a little bit more. And then I stamped those flowers, and I did them in Blackberry Bliss and Garden Green. And then I used some of our iridescent pearls on here because I wanted to pick up the white, not only behind the flowers, but in the card. And then on the inside, you can see here, just a little bit of twine, Blackberry Bliss white. Blackberry Bliss is 4 by 5 1/4. The white is 3 3/4 by 5. And then just these few little flowers on the inside. And that is my card number 2. The next one, I did the same thing as I did here, only long ways. And I put on my little card, I cut off the wheels and raised the top part of the card up on dimensional, so it has more dimension to it than if you just raised the whole thing. Then this little strip across the front here, and You're the Sweetest is what I put here. And then on the inside, I did a few of those flowers and another piece of this striped paper from the envelope. I think I ended up only taking apart. No, I did use 2 envelopes. So one where I used mostly the inside, and the other one where I used the outside. Anyway, that is my card number 3. And these gems are these, which are the elegant faceted gems, and I used the clear, and they're kind of cool because when I put it on the yellow, it picked up the yellow, and when I put it on the pink, it picked up the pink. So I actually really like the way that one came out. That's my card number 3. This was more off the beaten path, and what I did was I cut out that pink piece in here, once I had cut these pieces off, I went ahead and trimmed around this piece and put it on here almost at the same angle it was there. Then there was this laser cut that had strawberries and blueberries that I think was actually meant to go on this card to raise up those pieces. I ended up not using that card base at all. So I put this on Night of Navy and used the pink, put this across here, You're the Sweetest, put my own little free piece of white scrap tag, and just used some rhinestones and a couple of those cut out strawberries and blueberries to give a little bit more dimension. And then on the inside on this one, I just stamped in navy the strawberry and the blueberries. On the inside of this card, this blue piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and this white piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And so that is my card number 4. Then this piece here, I cut that in half. So this is what I did with the other one. And on the envelope that comes with this, what I ended up doing is I cut the front of this envelope off. And this little piece here, what I did was that's 2 1/8 by, I think it's 4 or 4 1/4. 4. So that's 2 1/8 by 4. And so I just did another 1/8. So 4 1/4 by 4 1/8 to mat this piece in the garden green. And then I put it, and it just fits in this little section of the envelope, but it's too short. So I just cut it off at the bottom and put a piece of green behind it here, wrapped some twine around it right at the seam here on the seam on the card right here, and wrapped it around 4 times. Then I stamped hello on a piece of scrap, and then I just fussy cut the hello out. And then on the inside of this one, I put a piece of that other green and then put thinking of you. And so I think I'm pretty pleased with that. That is my card number 5. Now, you could always just make up a few of the cards the way they make them, and then make a few alternatives if that's what you choose to do. And I'm really pleased with the way they came out. I love this paper, and the little cart is cute. And I notice on their alternatives, they turned this thing upside down and cut it out, and then put a whole bunch of these flowers stamped coming out of this. So they used this like a big vase. Thought that was kind of clever. And so those are my alternatives, and that is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. I've been reading comments, and it sounds like you guys are interested in maybe some kits that I could put together. So I'm working with my technical person. I just have to set it up on my blog because the cards are already designed. Some of the designs don't lend themselves to kit because there's so much stamping, and of course I can't stamp them for you. That's not something Stampin' Up! Will let us do. So I'm trying to pick out kits, and I think the way it's going to work is that it's going to be pretty reasonable. It's going to be about $10 for a set of kits, and it's two cards, and that includes the shipping and everything you need to make that card 2 times. And then you'll get an email from me saying your kits have been sent with the link back to the video that we made that card. And so you'll get an idea then of how to do it. And there'll be a little bit of recipe, a step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you go through it in there, I think is the way I'm going to do it. So pretty soon, I think within a couple weeks, I should be able to have those up. And then it's just kind of fun. I mean, once I do the video, why not put the kits together? And so I'm going to do that, and I am going to go back to my big online class. That's going to take, that takes an awful lot of effort, and so that one is likely to be maybe every other month or once a quarter that I do the big ones. But we'll have a series of kits, and I'm going to do like 25 or 30 kits and put them up there. And when they're gone, unless y'all wipe me out in a day or two, and then in case I'll add more. So more to come, but it sounds like it's something you might be interested in. So I'm really looking forward to putting that together. And it's a very affordable alternative to ordering all of the paper and all of the stamps and all of that stuff, to just get a couple of kits and put the card together. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's see. My prize draw is always a $60 shopping spree on me, and you put yourself in the drawing by putting an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. And that's it for me. Celebration is going on. There's an offer that gives you a beautiful physical planner that's 8 inches by 9.5, and it has all of the pages and dividers and stickers and all kinds of things. It's very cool looking. And so that is the joint offer, plus your $125 worth of product for $99, of course. And so if you've got an interest in becoming a demonstrator, please call me. My information is always listed below the video. I'd love to talk to you about it. All right, I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.